Okay, we're back in the shop today. We're making the other side of this. This is basically a clamshell enclosure. We're going to make the other side. Made a couple of changes to the program because these are almost identical programs. With a little bit of exception in this area, there's a little bit more clearance. But hopefully this will run a little bit faster. Really didn't change a lot of feeds and speeds, but I did change the depth of cut and you know, things you catch in Fusion. One of the top things is after a facing operation, a lot of times your 2D contour or what have you will actually be set up at the top of the stock rather than the actual model top. Well, after the facing operation, you don't have that material, so you'll be cutting air if you don't change that. I made that mistake in the first run of this, and I've got this cleared up in this one, and we're going to run it. Basically, I've got my work coordinate system set up off the Heimer probe, and hopefully everything goes well. Okay, we're back again today. I've got the camera a little bit in a different position because I want you to see the new LCD display. It's the first job that I've run with this. Already it's made it a lot easier to see. I'm going to go ahead and start this job and try to stay out of the way of the display, and I'll get to some machining footage in just a minute after I get this run. I'll probably let it finish the facing operation and then move the camera. Okay, success. I don't really know how much of this you can see because the camera that I'm using in particular, the display is right on top of the display and I can't really see it, but what I can see, it does look really good. This is a lot easier to read. If you haven't made this upgrade and you've got one of the Fanuc, at least the Series OM, well worth, I mean, 200 bucks, you can get one of these. Just dig around and look for your model number on eBay or Amazon. You should be able to find this. Especially if you're willing to wait for it, you can get a lot cheaper. Anyway, I'm going to get back to machining footage, and we just finished the facing operation. It went well. I have been having some trouble, hopefully it won't do it this time, setting the tension on my the holders. Twice now it has actually dropped this face mill. It really just started doing it, and I thought it was something with the machine, and it ended up being just coincidence. The machine pots I had finally rotated around to 3 loose pots. They're all right together in the chain of swapping, and I finally figured it out and tightened those up, and now everything's working good. But I'm going on further in the chain. I haven't tested every one of the tool pots to make sure that they have the proper tension on them, but we'll see. Okay, the part is finished. Let me get this all this coolant blown off, and we'll see what we ended up with. Okay, we've got our part made. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the fit right on the exit, mainly because there's so many wires on that particular side of the board. So what I've decided to do, instead of having those angled pieces like I had on the back side, I'm actually going to curve that and really open that up where I can get the wires in and out. And that should make it a lot easier to fit up. A lot of folks ask how long this actually takes when you're prototyping and this, that, and the other. I went over to Fusion, made the changes I wanted to make, and reposted. And even though I don't have a newer controller, I'm actually having to write this to USB key. I did all this in under 10 minutes, so I'm ready to go again in 10 minutes. I basically suppressed all the operations I did not want to run, and I'm going to go ahead and let it run the whole pocket section because I didn't want to put a limit to just machine that side. But I'll go ahead and let it run, and we'll try a refit again. Okay, I'm pretty happy with what we've got. Just to kind of show you how this works. This is a pretty tight fit, but it does work. So basically we put our PCB board there and take the upper section, and that's the finished product. And basically what you end up with is a really solid, rugged enclosure. The screws would actually come up through the bottom and go into this piece that I machined before that actually has the threaded holes. The other side just has regular holes. I hope that gives everybody an example of how to, you know, this is pretty much a product start to finish. There's a whole nother series in my videos on actually this component, and this was you know, a prototype that I did. I did this in KiCad and sent this to Oshpark. You know, I did a reflow on this myself using Osh stencils to basically stencil the solder paste and reflow this. This is a double-sided board. And basically with that design, we've actually taken that design into something and turned it into a real part. And that'll enclose this. Anyway, I hope y'all like the videos. If you have any questions, let me know and I'll be glad to answer. Pretty much all that's left on this is just cutting this out and then flipping it over and doing the facing. I don't know that I'll shoot a video in particular on that unless somebody just really wants to see it, but it's going to be identical to what we did on this part. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy the videos. And please like, please share, and by all means, if you have any questions, give me a shout. I'll be glad to answer. Or if you have a better way of doing something, you know, I always like suggestions too. I think every time I run this machine, I learn a little something. Thanks. We'll see you on the next one.